that they may see different between a person who had autism and a person who didn't have autism.
We have mostly participated in some parts of research studies that have been done by some of the VCU genetics students who have actually approached me and the local Down Syndrome Association to see if they might present to our group and try to get involvement of families through our group. And they have most successfully. It's been really interesting. It's been fun.
As far as the physician was concerned that asked us to participate, we were very well informed. She told us exactly what we were doing, what to expect. In addition, she gave us information to read, and she gave me articles to read that kind of justified why they were doing the study. The individuals who were working with my daughter were exceptional. They treated her with dignity and respect, and given that she was not that verbal and she had autism, they were able to, they talked to her, they talked to both of us. They explained what was going on. They allowed me to even come back into the area where the testing would be done. She had to have a little anesthesia to help her get through the process, and I was able to come back and be with her, gown up and everything, and stay with her as long as I could until she went under. And then the physician came out and informed us of how the procedure went.
It can be a little intimidating, I can see that. But in the case of autism, which is what I can speak for, there's such a wide range variety of kids. And I think people in the general public don't see that wide variety, and the studies can document that variety and find out more about it, because there's very little known about autism and how to treat it, what can we do with it, where is it coming from.
Parents can often find out about clinical trials on the internet. Many of these studies are funded by federal government agencies, like NIH, and announcements are posted online. At the clinicaltrials.gov website, you'll find a description of all the studies currently being conducted, and there may be one in which you could participate.
What's probably been more typical over the years has been for folks to see advertisements of clinical trials. You'll often see flyers around universities that will be advertising research studies. Often clinical trials will be advertised in newspapers, and so parents can watch for things that might be of interest to them that would be advertised in the newspaper. And word of mouth. Support groups, support groups often pass around information about clinical trials that they're aware of.
My advice to parents and other family members who really want to understand what evidence base is and where the good research is to first join some family-oriented organizations that are research-oriented, like the Autism Society of America or TASH, which is an organization that advocates for people with significant disabilities.
Another resource for us was through our church. Our church has, I think, 4 families that have children with Down syndrome, and we know 2 of them really well. And so one of them in particular, we gave them a call while we were in the hospital after we found out, and so they've been a big resource to us. And then as my wife's gotten more involved, the Down Syndrome Association of Greater Richmond is a pretty good source for information, just as far as networking of what's going on.
I'm getting ready to do a speech and social communication at UNC. And that's going to be an awesome one, because they're going to actually do a full workup of Cameron, involve him in the research, and then give us feedback to help with his IEP, which will be his education plan for school.
I really didn't have a very good idea of what it would be like. Now I'm all for it, and I would really encourage other families to participate, if they felt it was a legitimate activity and something that might be either helpful to their child or kids like their kid or other families.
In terms of acquisition of skills for children, that there's been a lot of research that has been done with children with disabilities. In psychology, in education, and the outcomes of the research that's been done is a very rich research base that has lasted many, many years and is still valid research. And so it helps children every day who have not been a part of that research.
Many parents agree that one of the toughest things about having a child with a disability is the sense that you are going through this extraordinary and difficult experience alone, without answers. Valuable research is being conducted across the country. In Richmond, VCU plays an important role in that effort. But parents don't have to wait for the research reports to find answers. Simply talking to each other, joining a support group, and volunteering can provide valuable assistance.
Well, it's really huge because you all, both of you, talked about being involved in support groups. So you're going out there and you're getting information. So you're looking for research trials. Did you talk to your doctor to get involved, or did you go to the national support group? How did you get into that research trial?
It's all kinds of ways. It's true. The group is really great. Support groups are really good about passing information. Like the one I'm getting ready to be involved in was passed from my daughter, who said, okay, this is a research group here in North Carolina looking for students, even in Virginia. So I found that people will pass on information. Do you want to contact them? And it's a lot of them are students. They're young people that are involved in the study.
I found that parents who advocate for your kids like yourself, their kids tend to have a better they do better at school because you're looking for the new research. You're keeping the school on their toes. What do you do as a parent to make sure that your school is giving Cameron what he needs?
I think sometimes the perception of the mom today or the father today or the parent today is that we're extremely aggressive. And I do believe that's a strong perception. So one of the things I've been trying to do is I took the state offered partners in policymaking, and I might have you look into I might tell you that you should look into that. And it's ways of teaching us how to learn how to advocate appropriately, and how to do it in a positive way. Because I do think we sometimes come across really negative. So I had to learn to tone down my advocacy.
Right now she's still just a baby, and she's not much different than any other baby at her age. But as she gets to be 5 or 6, that's where, as our pediatrician says, is when she gets a little older, when she starts to, fall behind, or fall behind being kind of a negative term, but when we start to see where her limitations and where how her disability specifically manifests itself, that's when we'll really have to be kind of, how do we be on top of it? What can we do to, again, support her so that she can develop to her potential?
And that is the ultimate goal, developing your child's true potential. The research being done at VCU and other LEND centers and the essential participation by parents have already removed much of the stigma that used to be associated with children who have neurodevelopmental disorders. So in one sense, this work has already produced an important accomplishment. More needs to be done. Causes and cures, a better understanding of the problems, new ways to support children and families, helping children with neurodevelopmental disorders to be successful, making sure schools are part of the solution, and ensuring parents can give their children everything they need and deserve. These are goals worthy of achieving, and goals that can be met with your help.